Welcome to the Linear AccessBase2000 Module 3, adding a cardholder and credentials. Once you open up AccessBase2000, you are directed to the cardholder screen. We have two cardholder sets already installed, All Access and No Access. If I took a person and put them on All Access, they have access to everything on that property 24/7. If I put somebody in No Access, they don't have access to anything on that property within that cardholder set. What we recommend is creating your own cardholder set, and to do that, we just click on the two yellow people with the green plus sign. As you can see, once I've done that, I've created a new cardholder set, and we need to name it. For this example, I'm going to call it Residents, and these are where all the residents of this property are going to go. You'll notice to the right of Residents, the door validation groups. Right now, we're in All Access. A door validation group is an access level that will dictate which doors people can get into or which portals they can get into and what time and days they can get into those doors. For this module, we're going to leave it at All Access. Module 4, validation groups, will be following this seminar. It's time to add our first cardholder. We see the icon with a single yellow person and a green plus sign. If I select it, my first resident comes down. If I select the resident, I've got some data fields I need to input. I need to give them a first name, a last name, and also a home phone number. The home phone number is the number that panel will dial to try to access that resident. Last name and a home phone number, I'm ready to add credentials. And a credential is either a transmitter, a card, and its resident a transmitter. So I select the transmitter button. There are two different ways to assign transmitters and cards. I'll show you both. The first way is to assign a new individual transmitter. So on the lower right, I select Assign New Individual Transmitter. A block-coded transmitter has a white sticker on it. It's either on the bottom or on the back of the transmitter, and that's the code that's embedded into that transmitter. What I need to do is look at that sticker and type that code into the transmitter ID box. For example, this transmitter might be 12345 as the embedded code. After I input that data, I select OK. And I can see that that person now has an icon of a transmitter, and transmitters assigned to this cardholder, I see to have one individual transmitter assigned. The second method is to enter them as a block transmitters, and I can use the Assign button. To do that, I need to go to the hammer and screwdriver and go to Credentials. If I select block transmitters or block cards, they're both input the exact same way, I see a button that says Add Transmitter Block. If I select that button, I have a transmitter block start and a transmitter block end. Block transmitters are sequential in number. So in this particular box, my transmitter block starts at 25,100 and ends at 25,109. Once I input that block, I select OK. And I can see all the transmitters that are in that block. Keep in mind, entering transmitters as a block does not make them go active. They will not go active until I assign them to a person. They're just available for me to select. If I want to add a block-coded transmitter to a person, I go back to my residence, select my cardholder, select the transmitter button, and use the drop-down underneath the button Assign. Once I hit the drop-down, all the transmitters I put in the block are available for me to assign. I select which one and select the Assign button. I now see that that person now has two transmitters, one block-coded and one single. Cards are inputted the exact same way. I can either input them individually or select them as a block. Next, I need to program an entry code to this person. The difference between an entry code and a directory code. A telephone entry panel has a keypad on the front. It is basically waiting for a resident to walk up and type in an entry code, for an example, 1234, and unlock the door. However, if a visitor wants to contact a resident, they will scroll through the names until they see the name they wish to contact, and there'll be a directory code just to the right of that name. For an example, it might be Paul Jones 001. I would type in 001, and that panel would call the pre-programmed telephone number and put it into the database so I can let the resident in. To input an entry code, I select the entry code button, and I just type in what entry code I wish to give that resident. The entry code can be 2 to 8 digits in length, and they don't all have to be the same length. I can have some entry codes 3 digits, some entry codes 6 digits. It really does not matter. After I input the desired entry code, I just select the Assign button, and I see that now the person has an icon of a keypad next to entry codes, and I can see the entry code assigned to that card holder. Next, I'll select directory code. After I select the directory code button, 001 will become available if it's the first directory code. The next available directory code will become available. I can either use that one or just type in whichever one I choose to give. After I type in the directory code, I just select the Assign button, and now that person has a directory code. If I need to input a second card holder, I just select the yellow icon with the green plus sign, and I input as many card holders into that card holder set as desired. After I'm done inputting the credentials, I select the Apply button at the bottom, connect to the panel, and upload the changes. That completes adding card holders and credentials. My name is Paul Jones. Have a great day.